Hi everyone, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to customize your form style in QuickBooks Online. So there are three form styles that we can customize, and I'm going to quickly show you how you can easily do that in under 5 minutes. So we start by moving over to our gear. In the last tutorial I showed you that this is where you go to change your and update your company settings. So once we click on the gear, under your company we'll go to custom form styles. So this is the window that you will see. Now if you're new to QuickBooks Online and have just opened a new file, you'll see a standard form. We'll open it just to have a quick look at what it should look like. I'll just let you know that this particular one has already been edited, so yours will be a little bit different from this one. So as you can see, I've played around with colors already. I've called this a text invoice, and I've also put in some additional information there. So this is not what yours will look like. Yours is just, we'll have some of the obvious things like your name, telephone number, web details, and a little bit of information on your items and descriptions. Alright, so we'll try and exit without saving. So I obviously saved last time, that's why it's no longer standard, but that's alright. So we're interested in doing a new style for our business. We're not happy with the standard one and we want to tweak it up a little bit so that it resembles our branding. So if you click on this little down arrow, you'll see the three forms that we can customize. We've got our invoice, we've got our quote, and our sales receipt. The purposes of this tutorial, we'll just do the invoice. The first thing we want to do here is just to name it. So I've just called that First Plumbers X Sales. Now we've got a standard template here. Let's see what other templates can QuickBooks offer us. So we're on this friendly one. Let's see what the airy one looks like. That's what airy would look like. Modern would look like that. Fresh would look like that. Bold would look like that. And friendly. So let's go with the fresh just for the purposes of this tutorial. Alright, that looks alright. Next up, make logo edits. So if we're not happy where our little Mr. Plumber is, we might make him a bit bigger. If we're not happy with that, back to large. He's currently on the left. If we wanted to put him on the right, we could do that as well. Now colors. Got all these pink colors, but if your branding was something else, we could change that. You can try and if you've got your own brand colors, you could try and put them here. I've done this with a few colors and I was able to get colors outside the ones that we offered here. You can come and just copy and paste your brand colors there. If not, you can always find a palette that's a little bit closer. Now if I'm not happy with that font, I can click here to select a new font. We're currently on a Helvetica 10 point, so if I wanted it a bit bigger, I could go up to 12. I think the 10 is alright, we'll leave it at 10. Now if you're going to print these, you might want to edit according to your printer settings, just by clicking on there. Okay, we'll just move on to the content. Now, remember in the first tutorial, I showed you how these little pencils indicate editable places. Okay, so you can edit any of the information here by clicking on this. You click on that one. So all these fields are editable. So if I didn't want my email on this, I could just untick that. No email there. Same thing goes for your website. Now you might ask, how come my website's already showing? That's because when you put your details in your company settings, you automatically updated all of this. Okay, if there's anything that you're not happy showing here, just unclick it to take it off. Okay. So clicking on the next little pencil will bring us to our table. So this depends on the type of business that you have. So some businesses you might have to show service, plumbing. You might want to show the actual date of service. You can play around with these, whether you just put a description or not. I'll just unclick you guys so that I can activate description. So this is going to be description only. Okay, take off the date. Now I have description. Put description of the item and quantity. So it depends on what you want to show. More products. Right, let's see if I take this off. I just have my item name. Description is still there by default. So you can click on this little thing to show more activity options. So you can play around with this, see if it's relevant to your type of business, or do you charge your clients? Then you might want to show markup on billable expenses. But some of this will just be internal, not public. So show billable items, include your employee name, include hours and rate. So this must have all been ticked off in your settings. That's why we're seeing it here again. Alright, so if you're happy with, so you notice that none of these things are showing here, so they won't show, but when you're doing your invoice and for your reporting, you will see these things come up. So we'll leave them there so that when we start doing invoices, we can see how that will look like. Alright, so we also have emails there. So let's standardize this to our branding. So if our branding is hello Tim, then we'll go with the first name. But if our branding is dear salutation, then I might put first and last name. So it just depends on your business and your clients. So you can always change that. And a reminder email, of course, is also very important. So you can customize that to how you want it to sound. You still want to keep your relations with your customers. You don't want to burn any bridges. So it's just nice to keep it friendly while just letting them know that you do need to be paid. Alright, so payments we'll look at when we start doing our actual invoices, how we can set up PayPal. But we've got a lot of payment options, which is a great thing. Let's go back to contents again, because we looked at our table, but we didn't quite look at the footnotes, did we? No. So the footer details, you can have a discount if you want. If you give a discount, if I click here, that will appear. So when my invoices are sent out, I can have a message for customers which reads thank you for your business and have a great day. Because if I wanted to change this, I could. Looks like you can't change this one, unfortunately. However, you can change the add payment details and footer. Payment details are, because you word it according to pay by EFT or to pay by direct deposit, and then you can just give them your bank details with options to where you want to put this. The left, so to move to the left. I normally just keep that centered, and the 10 points is alright. Okay, so that's just one simple way of customizing your invoice. So remember, we showed that you can customize your invoice, You can customize your quote and you can customize your sales receipt. So once you're done, you can just click done there. And there it is, first form business invoice. And if you go down on this little drop down here, it will open that again. That's not what I wanted. I'll just exit without saving this time and try that one again. It's my mouse being too active. So make defaults. So I've just made that my default. So every time I go to do an invoice, that's the default that will come up. Now in 2017 or earlier, this is I'm talking about in Australia, 2017, we now have a feature where we can go in. So go back to your gear icon, your company, right at the bottom, you've got QuickBooks Labs. In QuickBooks Labs, you get some of the new things that are coming up. So if you go right to just before the last one, you've got import style. Why is this so great? There's a little video there that you can play. And the whole thing is our clients have said they're not happy. Where our clients have said they're not happy with any of the standard forms, they can now go in, or your advisor can go in and import your very own style. So once I clicked on there, I got that little message. Sorry, it disappeared. I hope you saw that. It just says I've activated import style. Let's go back here and see what happens now. So now we can import our very own style. All we have to do then is prepare our little, we download a sample invoice of what it should look like, prepare it, and we can upload it. As simple as that. It's a little bit of mapping involved, but once you do that, you have your very own style imported into QuickBooks Online. Thank you very much for watching this. Again, if you do have any questions, send me an email at info@youfirstbookkeepers.com.au. My name is Bridget, and thank you for watching.